Apparently, January 27th, 2023 was the unofficial day of nostalgic returns for me. January 27th saw the release of Dead Space, a remake of the original game in a sci-fi franchise EA originally cancelled roughly a decade ago. January 27th also saw the release of Bionicle, Tahu and Takua, a gift with purchase set remake of the most iconic original characters from a sci-fi franchise LEGO originally cancelled roughly a decade ago. It goes deeper than that. Both franchises are represented well by the character's iconic mask, which even look pretty similar if you have cataracts, which the original fans of both definitely do, because if you're an OG fan of Bionicle and Dead Space, you are old now. Both main characters represented also arrive at their home setting following a distress beacon to find that enemies have overrun the place, and both franchises are famous for characters being in little pieces, although technically the order that happens in are reversed. Now, I could easily have reviewed these individually, but everyone on both sides will have already begun swamping YouTube with such videos by the time I was able to receive and play/build either of these. You might think the LEGO was the slow part, but no, apparently Limited Run cannot even fucking get a game delivered on launch day for someone pre-ordering the fancy edition. I will be reviewing all that stuff when it ships later in the year. So anyway, I needed a hook fast. I'm sure the YouTube algorithm will love the combination of a children's toy with graphic horror violence. So the first thing to note is how the technology has changed in the intervening time. What this means here is that 95% of the original pieces are completely retired. So, looking at the parts, you are going to notice some broad changes to the body, limbs, and most noticeably, the face now belongs to voice actor Gunnar Wright, which is a reasonable alteration considering the technological requirements for better motion capture. Of course, you'll be looking at that much less, and the real focus was replicating the armor, which is reasonably imitated in both shape and smaller details. Sometimes though, the shape just gets inexplicably changed for little reason. Pay close attention to how the feet firmly smash through the flesh and bone of corpses, which is as crucial as ever to do, considering the necromorphs will come along for any loose biological material they can combine into this configuration very similar to a pretty iconic scene from Mask of Light, slightly later in the franchise. Personally, I prefer it when they are separated when an ambush by these horrific monstrosities immediately leads a crew member to a traumatic and painful death. Isaac naturally has to rush out so he can assemble this incredible display stand representing details previously only shown in the promotional art. Since we're talking about new inclusions, the peeling system, where the flesh separates from the body when shot, is a harrowing display of exactly what Isaac's having to do to survive. Similarly, the far more human-sounding cries of the necromorphs really help serve as a reminder of the childhood joy surrounding these characters. Honestly, nothing quite provides that warm nostalgic tingle like thinking about how you'd pick yourself up off the floor, heart racing from the close visuals of the captain's corpse mutating directly in your face. Forced to take immediate action poses are technically more possible than ever before thanks to additional joints the original Tahu didn't have enough ammo. I had no choice but to hit it with stasis and hope that going in swinging his adorably goofy long arms really makes me want to curl up in a safe corner somewhere, but truly nowhere is safe now. A new AI system means enemies aren't set at predetermined locations. Now, the game is calculating the most effective places not only to introduce enemies, but also to include a trombone? Certainly, that has to be a mistake. Now I'm confused by the alternate ending, where Nicole was secretly Isaac's mother the whole time. I just thought they aged her up to match the voice actress, and so that Isaac no longer looked like a fucking cradle robber. I admit, that's disturbing in a brand new way for the franchise, but I'm not sure including an Oedipal complex build could actually make the slightly smaller version of the mask included with the Stars version snap on there, if the printed brick mask is your sticking point. I'll definitely play around with his own mother in such an explicit scene is stomach churning. What the fuck, EA? I highly recommend grabbing both products.